What's up, everyone? How you doing? Today I'll be talking about the movie Psycho Goreman, and I'll be hearing like reviews online, not video reviews, because I don't want to spoil my review with their reviews. But I read that there's a mixed review bag on this, and I saw the trailers for this, and I right off the back I already knew this was a Canadian movie because if you watch a lot of horror movies or Canadian sense of humor style with horror, you already know what Canadian horror comedy is. You know what I'm saying? Canadian horror have their own unique of comedy. Same with British movies, we have their own comedy mixing with horror, kind of like Shaun of the Dead style. You know how they mix their comedy with, for example. And of course you get your American horror comedy and your Asian horror comedy style. But the Canadian ones are always, to me, kind of like fun due to the soundtrack of the '80s soundtrack. I don't know why, but I see a lot of horror comedy when it comes to Canadian movies. Always love to put that '80s soundtrack background music a little bit. You'll hear it. But anyway, let's get to the point. Psycho Goreman is about these two kids. One is a bossy sister who bosses her brother around. Cause her brother's like a goody two shoes. And they played this unique game they played together. Also, the brother lost. He has to dig the ground, and they found this jewel. Once they took the jewel, they released this monster. They goes on a little killing spree. Once they go to this warehouse factory, like they meet up with this monster, and they realize they can control this monster with this jewel. Now, this is not your ordinary monster. This monster is like maybe the Thanos of that universe. I would say this monster is going on a killing spree, killing anything on sight. But there's a reason why this monster kills. Meanwhile, you got this group called the Knights of the Templars, pretty much, like an organization of aliens working with this angelic woman, robot angel woman, like, and they pretty much knows that the Psycho Goreman is awake, and they have to. And the angel woman decided to become the champion to defeat this monster. Psycho Goreman is like an anti-hero, I would say, but he is a villain, but he's like a lovable villain. And again, let me just say, fast forward, I really did enjoy this movie because, again, if you're used to Canadian horror comedy, then you're gonna like this one. If you like something like Wolf Cop, then you definitely gonna like this movie. Comedy like that, for example. And Wolf Cop is also another Canadian horror comedy, by the way. So let me just add that too. Um, Psycho Goreman, he's a lovable villain, man. I mean, the movie is very bloody and gory. His kill scenes are good. Um, it's a good movie, man. I mean, I love how the kids was able to control the mouth with the jewel. I like the chemistry with the children and Psycho Goreman. You know how they interact. The chemistry is right there. Um, there's some nitpicks though, like nitpicks. I said, like, really, they could put a stop to this already, or so and so, pretty much. But it's like, I would say nitpick you can let it slide. Again, this is a movie that you cannot take seriously. Definitely not cannot take this seriously. Um, I definitely recommend this one for people who's a fan of Canadian horror comedy. Like I said, if you're a fan of Wolf Cop, for example, if you're a fan of something like Toxic Avenger from Trauma, then Psycho Goreman is for you. Is there room for Psycho Goreman 2? Why not? Maybe they could do a Psycho Goreman 2. Maybe a Psycho Goreman versus Wolf Cop. Who knows? That'd be awesome. To have some aliens, science fiction mixing with the paranormal horror of the Wolf Cop universe. That'd be something cool. So that I'm already like pitching it in this podcast. But I say, yeah, check it out, guys and gals. Peace out and see you later.